Good afternoon, everyone. Happy February. This is our first live of February. We've got a lot of grants to talk about today, don't we, Brian?
We do. How's it going, everyone? Welcome.
Yeah. Huge shout out to everyone who's tuned in early. To leave a comment where you're watching from, city and state, and we're going to be answering questions today. We've got a jam-packed 30 minutes. So here's what we're going to cover today. As I just teed it up, we're going to talk about, Brian, how many new grants? 4 new grants, including our February grant?
Yeah, we'll be talking about at least 5 of them today. 4, 3 brand new, and then the fourth would be our February grants that we're going to talk about, hopefully.
Absolutely. So 3 brand new grants, one that's due today. It's a final reminder. A popular one, the BARCLAYS one, I'll just share that one that thousands of you have already applied for. I'm going to give some tips for BARCLAYS grants. And then the 6th thing is our February grants. We're picking 10 winners this month. They're smaller grants, but we want to give out more. We want to do what we can. As you know, we're going to announce those. Little incentive here. When we get to 200 likes on this video, we're going to announce our February grants. So hit the like button, and thanks to everyone who shows up every Tuesday. Brian, how many Tuesdays? I know we miss Tuesdays every once in a while, but it's been since the fall where we're here every Tuesday.
Yeah, it's been a while now. Yeah, I haven't counted, but yeah, we're doing every Tuesday. Yeah, it's been every single one, or except for one, I think, this year. But yeah, we've been hitting them pretty consistently. Hello
Speaking
from
of
North Carolina. We got Pennsylvania, Mississippi, a lot of different states coming in from all around the country.
Yeah, put in your state at the least. We'll give you a shout out. Good to see familiar faces. I know some of you are already applying for grants. So speaking of, I'd love to put up a poll since we are in our second month of 2023. How many of you were able to apply for a grant in January? Maybe you're tracking it on the Skip dashboard, which we're going to show you in a second. But how many were able to apply for a grant in January? I don't know if we can put up that poll, Brian. Be curious. I think that was one of our big takeaways from December. Everyone coming in with resolutions. This is going to be the year where I apply for more funding, grants, other financing such as loans, things like that. So would love to hear. Maybe we'll try to get up that poll.
Yep, we got it up right now.
Oh, nice. All right. Good to see you got folks in Sacramento there as well. South Carolina, Dallas, Virginia.
Yep, and Rochester.
Rochester, yeah. Good shout out to Rochester. Okay. By the way, last week at the beginning of the video, for everyone who tuned in early, I said, put your email in a link, and I'm going to pick winners to send mugs to, our Skip mugs. So we picked winners. We emailed 5 folks we're sending mugs to. I think 1 or 2 haven't responded with their addresses. So check your email. So I've got, I'm going to be sending out these Skip mugs. We'll do this occasionally as a thank you to our community, whether you're brand new to our community, you've been around for years. So I'm going to send out some Skip mugs, and the next it's t-shirts and hoodies. I don't know what other swag we've talked about, Brian. Pens?
Yeah, wallets,
Skip wallets. Yeah, what?
Tote bags.
Here's the question: if you could have any Skip swag out there, what would you want with the Skip logo? Besides a check with the Skip logo that says check for $10,000. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got 23 votes so far with the poll. Just to reiterate, this is just if you were able to apply, not if you received a grant, just if you're able to just apply for a grant.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. Is it closed? Is the poll open?
It's still open. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Keep chiming in. And all right, we got hoodie, t-shirts. Noted. We'll get socks. That's interesting. Yeah. And what else? Mug. There we go. Yeah, you want one of these mugs. These are great if you're a coffee or tea drinker. Okay, and hit the like button. I want to start with a quick news recap, and then Brian's going to talk about some of the grants. But there's some good news today. Certainly, there's the global news. Our thoughts are with everyone in Turkey and Syria It's such a tragedy. So yeah, thinking about everyone there, and hopefully they're getting as much aid as possible in Turkey and Syria. In the U.S. side, the market's good today. It's improving. There's a little bit of a tech rally. There's the State of the Union tonight. Many of you are aware of that. It's expected that Biden's going to talk about some of these economic improvements, some encouraging signs, so some positive things he's going to mention. This was a big headline. It doesn't apply to most people in the U.S., but the IRS is telling millions of taxpayers to hold off on filing their return. This does affect people in California, a couple other states. You probably know if it's you. Brian, I don't know if do you know about this since you're in California?
No, I haven't done my taxes yet. I mean, I know about the state refunds that we got, but yeah, didn't think about that yet for taxes.
Yeah, that's what it's related to. I think these refunds that went out last year, IRS hasn't said whether they should be counted as income or not. According to H&R Block is saying, look, we're not going to count it as income. So they're just going ahead and processing returns as if it wasn't income. But the IRS is still telling people to like, hold on, which everyone's like, no, I want my refund now.
Right. Yeah.
Don't tell me to wait.
They should have figured that out before everyone got there.
Before February. Yeah.
Come on.
So there's that. Yeah, I wonder if it's affected anyone here. I wonder if anyone's got an early start on taxes. And a couple company news is here. First, Bed Bath & Beyond still having still basically, can I say going to the toilet because it's Bed Bath & Beyond. Stock is down quite a bit. They're looking for a lifeline. I think, they're getting some basically a Hail Mary of funding to stay alive. Zoom. In Zoom news, they're laying off 15% of their staff today. Same with Boeing. That's the last piece of news today. Boeing is also cutting jobs. So more jobs cuts. Still, the job market's really hot. I know a lot of you tuned in are in, services sector, product sector. You always remark that hiring is a challenge for you. So you'd be curious to hear if that's still the case. And but yeah. There you go. Maybe because Boeing, the last 747 rolled off the assembly line. I think it was last week. No more 747 production. So maybe that's related to that. Brian, which grant should we talk about first today?
Well, let's start it off with. Let's look what we got here in the description. We have all of the links here. Let's start with the one at the very top of the description of the new grant section.
Yeah.
So
which one's that?
We have the 1K Kitty. I believe it's called the Kitty Fund.
Okay. Yeah, the Kitty Fund grant. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, link in the description. You can add it to your dashboard. I'm going to show that here as always. If it's interesting for you, you can add it, then we'll send you reminders. So I've just done that. All right. Here's the little blurb, Brian. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so this one's an interesting one because it's actually for mothers. If you are a mother and you are a CEO, you're a president, you're the owner of your business, and you have between 2 and 50 employees, less than 5 million annual revenue, you can qualify for this grant. So it's from I believe it's Founders First organization. They have actually another grant that we talked about a few weeks ago. They are giving out 25 of them. They're all $1,000 grants. So it's kind of like the skip grants that we usually do. So it's 25 $1,000 grants, and that's for mother owned businesses that have between 2 and 50 employees. Those are the big things. There's other little tiny technicalities that they have on their website, but if you fall into those circles, then that's probably going to be something that you can apply for.
That's amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. And does it specify if you currently have a dependent? I mean, because it's like
it doesn't specify.
What if you have adult kids?
No. So it says it's very lenient on that. It says that you identify as a mother. So it's if you say that you're a mother, I mean, if you have a dog, I would not recommend saying that you're a dog mom. I would yeah, I would
That does happen a
recommend you.
lot with the puppy boom during the pandemic. A lot of people are saying,
Yeah,
like,
right.
"Yeah, I'm a mom to some puppies." Yeah,
Exactly. But yeah, so I think this is like the third time they did this, the third or second time. Yeah, and Kitty is the name of the founder's first their founder's mother. That's her nickname. Yeah, so Kim Folsom's mother, the founder's first CEO. Her mother's name was Kitty. So this is a grant in honor of her mother.
wow, that's great. Uh, Great find. Yeah, shout out to our team too, who finds this. This is. I mean, this seems like a really unique one. I haven't seen anything like this before. Brian, I think you mentioned you need to have two employees, right? You and someone else. Is that? I think you mentioned that, right?
Yeah, if you go down, it might specify. I'm not sure that you I'm not sure if you can count yourself as an employee, but you at least need to have another employee, but it might be specifying two other ones.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you go
besides
down, it
yourself,
has the
must have
details
between
here.
2 and 50 employees. Yeah, assume if you're like you as the owner are also an employee. Like every owner, if you're paying yourself via W-2, or depends how you're structured, but
Yeah.
I would interpret this um, as you if you're paying yourself W-2 and one other W-2 employee that you have.
Yeah, I think that's probably okay. Yeah, I mean, we're not the ones that are deciding it, but I'm pretty sure that's okay. They seem like they're, semi lenient with that type of stuff. Though all of the other things you do need to, make sure that you are the owner, the CEO, be in the United States. You need to make sure your revenue isn't over 5 million. Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
about that.
grant money can be used in whatever way founders need to use it, like seeking professional assistance with preparing documents. So actually, we've heard this. People use grant money, then they become a skip member. So, but absolutely, I mean, or whatever you need it for. This is a good one. The link to this is in the description. It's pre-register, so there's a pre-register form. Brian, do you know much about this kind of
It's
when?
a
Yeah,
pretty simple form. So yeah, like Ryder said, it's pre-registered. You can pre-register now, so they don't have it like officially like out right now, and they don't have the due dates. But from what we've looked at their previous grants, they tend to give their grants. The Founders First organization tends to give their grants out later in the year, once a year. But we don't have those exact dates yet until they've actually officially launched it. So you can just pre-register right now.
yeah, there you go. It's a quick pre-register form.
Yeah,
So again,
simple stuff.
if you're doing revenue less than 5 million, of course, if you're doing revenue over 5 million, also would love to hear as well. But
Yeah, if your mother's an entrepreneur, this might be a great thing to send her over.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. Everyone has a mother for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the all right. And Sandara, yeah, congrats. Yeah, you'll get a mug shortly. It's great to see you. Great to see you back this week too. Okay, this is a good opportunity. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
How about Kinetic Business Grant?
Yeah, so this is one that we talked about last year as well, but this year looks like they're open still with the Kinetic Business Grants.
Mhm.
So this is from Windstream Kinetic Business Grant. This is I believe it's a internet provider, if I'm not mistaken, but Ryder and I are not so aware of it because it's not an internet provider anywhere that we are. I think it's kind of more maybe part of the South in Texas and middle of the country. So you do need to be in a service area for you to be able to qualify for this. But there's a good number, about 20 or so states that do qualify for this grant. But this one, we wanted to definitely highlight this one because it is for Black-owned businesses, it being that it's February now. And this one, yeah, it's $2,000, I'm sorry, and $500, and they also will help you out with some internet. Business internet services as well. So it's a pretty good one to if you are in this service area, if anybody is in the area of this provider, please let us know in the comments. I know last time we brought it up, there was people that knew exactly what this was, but Ryder, and
Yeah,
for me it's Comcast or Verizon.
I thought there was Yeah, I thought there was a map on the site, but in the south. I guess if either you know it or you don't know it. But
Yeah, there is a map. We don't have it pulled up right now, but you can look at. You can just they have a map on their website where you can see where their service map. I believe it's just on their main website, but most people will know, if this is actually a provider in your if it rings any bells.
absolutely. All right, so we're 2 grants down. That's the first one. The second one is for $1,000 grants for mom entrepreneurs.
Yep.
We have a couple more new ones in our grants this month. We're giving 10 winners, smaller grants, but 10 winners. Once we get to 200 likes, we'll announce that one. But here's a great question from Brandon: are there any grants in Missouri for laundromat startups? Maybe. We probably wouldn't talk about it here because it's local. Not that I know off the top of my head. Otherwise, I would say it. But on our app, by the way, big changes coming on our app. But Brian, if you want to give a shout out, because you're familiar with a ton of these grants on the app, you want to plug what people can see there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all of the ones that we're talking about today, we've added to the app. We always have our grants that we have on there. So everything that we talk about, where we're sharing it with you, that we think it's worth to share to everybody, we have those readily accessible for you on our Skip app. So yeah, those ones are going to be the best curated grant opportunities that you can find. There are more specific ones, but we don't necessarily put those on the app to advertise. Like you're mentioning Missouri, most people aren't in Missouri, so we try to keep these ones more broad.
Yeah. And anytime, the plug, anytime you need help with any of these grants, I know some of you are getting help from our team. Like if you're working on your story, working on your Barclays story, which I'll pull up in a second here, just let us know. We're here to help you win some of these grants. Well, we're here to help you find out about them, find out about funding, and win some of these grants or get funding this year. All right. Third up here, then we'll go to our grants, then Barclays. Fast break for small business.
Yeah, this one's a fun one. So this one is again a recurring grant. I believe they started it last year, or if it wasn't even maybe the year before. This is either the second or third year that they've been doing
probably
it.
the third year. I remember this one from maybe 2020.
Yeah. So this one is within within partnership with the NBA and LegalZoom. And it is $10,000 grants. Actually, now that I just said that, it might even be more than that. It was either 10 or maybe let's actually go to the website. I think it was at 10.
Yeah. So
I don't want to say 100, but there might have, I think, 50 small businesses. Yeah. So there's 51 $10,000 grants here.
This is amazing. I mean, Brian, we didn't really talk about these. Way to slide this in. This is a huge one. I mean, this
one's big. Yeah, half $500,000 right there.
All right, you're hearing it first here because everyone who's on the live, you're getting this first. We're probably going to do a video on this in a couple days, maybe this Friday's video. But yeah, you're hearing it here first. If you want to get a head start,
it's due just in 10 days as well. So this is definitely one that if you act quickly, you can for sure have a good chance, because a lot of people are probably going to maybe miss out on this if they're not on the webinar right now, if they're not aware of it.
Black-owned businesses, small business owners, and
for February.
Yeah, for February, right? So a couple big
Black
ones.
History Month, yeah.
There you go. And would love to know if anyone applied for these in past years, because this is like Brian said, at least
$500,000. Yeah,
$500,000. Speaking of $500,000, what's our second to that? No, I'll get to our grants in a minute, but I do want to pull up the Barclays grant because a few thousand of you have shown interest in this. So in the description now, you're in one of two camps. Just to recap, the Barclays grants, we've talked about 60 winners are being picked between $2,000 and $60,000. We've heard a number of you who won last year, by the way, a few of you who won last year. So all you need to do is write a 500 words story about your business. So here's a template you can use. You can see I annotated it here. It has a few questions that you can use to formulate 500 words is about 5 to 7 paragraphs, 25 to 35 sentences. So some tips here, and if you want us to review it for you, we can help you with that as well. But we really want a bunch of skippers to win some of these Barclays grants.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's open to everyone. I didn't mention that. As long as your revenue is under 5 million.
Yeah, that's really great. We love when we find these that everybody can apply for. Just because a lot of them are very specific. So then when we got these ones that everyone can throw their hat in the ring, it's always great to let everyone know about those. But yeah.
Are there any other? Because Brandon asked the question about the Missouri laundromat grants. Any other niche areas where you're watching from, things that we may not know today, but we go back, work with the team on finding grants for next week to put in the app? Yeah, just curious if you think you have some unique business or idea or you're in. Yeah, would love to hear. Drop it in.
So it looks like 77% of people were not able to apply for a grant in January. That's interesting because you definitely could have been applying for our grant. It doesn't take very long. Let's make sure that you guys apply for some in February if you're looking for funding.
Yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that's for everyone who watches this, whether you're watching live or recorded later, if we can help you apply for a grant. Speaking of our grants this month, Brian, how many likes are we at in the video?
We're at 55.
Okay, that's not 200, but let's try to. If you haven't hit the like button yet, let's all do that. Yeah, share with a friend.
Yeah, well, actually, Ryder, there is a last minute grant that maybe we should mention immediately because I think it closes in about a couple hours, right?
Yes, exactly. The Target one.
Yes, Creative Expressions, you do have to reapply each month. We're doing new grants every single month. But yeah, Ryder, the Target one, we did a video about it yesterday because this grant was supposed to have ended last week, I believe, but they extended it. And and if you are a business that's a product based business, you sell a product, and maybe you're thinking about hopefully someday having the dreams of getting into a big box store, this is definitely the grant and accelerator program for you. They have two different programs that they're going to be giving out $5,000 each. And then they have a 6 and 10 week accelerator program that you go through that will either be for a mature product. So say you've been doing it for a few years now, they have something for you to help you get going. And if you're brand new, they have another program to help you get going. So if you're a product-based business, let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear it, but this would be for you. And it actually... It ends, I think, at 5 o'clock today. Is that Pacific or Eastern time? Do you remember?
It might be Eastern. I remember the countdown. So you have 90 minutes. So if you're a product-based business and
get this in.
Good. You got this. I know we put up a poll on our YouTube last week of our audience, how many are product versus service-based businesses. And we'll get up that poll. But okay, so if you want to go to the Target grant, the link is right here, targetaccelerators.submittable.com, because they took down the landing page for this. So this is the only URL that will get you to this application.
Yeah. The link, if you add it to your funding tracker, it should take you to the page where I believe we've linked this. We did check that yesterday so that you can get there if you just follow the link in the description, add it to the funding tracker, and then go to the page, our page where this is linked at.
Absolutely. Okay, and here's the poll. Oh yeah, we asked this. What type of business do you have? Almost 300 votes. We asked this a week ago. 70% of you are service-based businesses. 30% of you sell physical products. So to the 30% of you, targetaccelerators.submittable.com.
Yeah.
And to everyone else, our grants for this month, we're probably getting close to, we'll see, the 1K here. We've got this updated here. So if you go to helloskip.com/1K, we've just updated this. We're giving out micro grants this month. Again, look, we want to help more people. So we're giving out 10 $100 grants this month. And $100, what can you do with $100? Not too bad. So we want to increase the chances of you who are tuned in right now winning one of these. So helloskip.com/1K, you can enter. And as you've seen in the, this is because it's the old link here. That's why this is up. I'll just change this here. Okay, February. But yeah, you go through it right now and enter. And Brian, anything you want to say about this?
I think there's 1K February there. Yeah. You know, we do these different all the time. Sometimes we are, you know, giving away more in a one lump sum, and then this time we're trying to just give out as many as we can. So we're going to be doing 10. You know, more winners this time than we usually do because we are giving up more. So that's exciting.
Yep. There you go. Any questions? By the way, there's Reignite Candle Co. Something about no open calls for applications when I use the link. Would love to know which link you're referring to. I'm not sure which application you're referring to, but yeah. Andrew's got an e-commerce clothing business and merch in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, I love hearing the types of businesses. You know, we love. I spoke with a bunch of business owners today. Yeah, I love hearing about your innovative products or your service-based businesses. And there you go, Brian. So that's a lot. Did we cover, what's the recap of the grants people should know about today?
Well, we have the Barclays grant, which we've talked about a lot. And then we have the Target Accelerator, which is going to be ending very, very soon. We have the $1,000 Mother's Grant. And then we have the $2,500 grant for Black-owned businesses in specific states. And then we have 50 $10,000 grants for Black-owned businesses. And then our skip grants that we'll be giving out at the end of the month as well. So that's 6 grants that we've mentioned today.
Sounds great. And yeah, there you go. And if in case the Target one, it may have closed at well, I'm not sure what time zone they would have, but it should still be open. And as for the February grant, we'll put in the updated link in the description because since we just updated that page, it might be cached. It might not be updating the link yet. So we'll double check that. Brian, good recap. That was just the quiz on remembering all those grants. And yeah. Any final thoughts for folks?
No, just make sure you guys apply for grants. You know, it doesn't hurt just to apply, but if you really do need funding, you know, if you have a vision for your business and you need to get that going immediately, you know, grants are not always the best option because you have to wait a long time for them or no guarantee. There's also a lot of things like that you can just, you know, I think with the SBA within 48 hours, there's some grants that you can have a turnaround for that, you know, if you have a business plan, you have a vision for your business and you're going to be making enough revenue, then, you know, consider that as well. That could be an option that will get you started right now on your dream or scaling up. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks, Ryder.
Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, those links on the post should be updated now for our $100 grants this month. And yeah, that's how we do things. But thanks everyone who's tuned in, and thanks Brian. Man, these are some gems today. You threw some good ones out there, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, we'll see all of you next week. We've got some more special announcements next week, including a new launch of our app. I'll share more about that next time. In the meantime, hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks.
See you.